Gesa, thank you so much for joining us here at SuperReturn International.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. Having founded the company you have and having the passion you have about having sort of gender diversity within both your own company and those that you look to invest in, where do you think this industry's at in terms of that gender question?
Well, it's a difficult question because the numbers show us that we're still at the very, very, very beginning. But I have the impression that things are moving into the right direction. So people are talking about ESG a lot, about diversity a lot, and GPs and LPs are making it something that they're specifically looking into. So I guess I would say we're still at the beginning, but with a very positive trajectory.
What would you say the benefits of looking for those opportunities with female founders are?
Yeah, well, there's many benefits. Obviously, we need those female founders at the table as well to produce the innovations that need to be made. And there's several aspects to this. So first of all, the general value add of the economy, just to bring everyone to the table. But then there's also other issues like producing products and services which are targeting female founders. So women do shop a lot and make decisions, buying decisions in all aspects of life. So it's also good to target them. And then if you're looking at big innovations, you really need diversity in thinking and in everything to be able to really make great innovation. So that's also a very big aspect to this. Not at the end, but also an important reason is actually role models for our children who will be the next innovators, who will make the next big companies, who will be the next ones to fill the positions that we are in nowadays. And if we bring them role models, then they will also aspire to becoming, I don't know, general partners of funds or limited partners, maybe lead a family office or whatever this industry has to bring.
Does it surprise you still, in 2022, that we're still talking about having to be so deliberate about seeking out female founders and seeking out investment in this area? Yeah. Does that shock you?
It doesn't surprise me, it doesn't shock me. It's, you have to look at the history of it all. And if you're looking at the history, this whole industry was created by men. And just looking into my own investment decisions, I have a similarity bias as well. And also when hiring, I have a similarity bias. And everyone has this, so it's not surprising that a whole industry created by men is having it tough to come into this more diverse picture. I guess it's a process, and it's good to make it deliberate, but it's not surprising to me.
And you talk there about it being deliberate. Some sort of criticise that and say, it's a forced thing. But from what you're saying, it actually has to happen that way because of those biases.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's not very popular, but quotas is something that I really like talking about because in the past decades, nothing has really changed with regards to diversity. And if we just look at the numbers and again, similarity bias, which is inherent to all of us, then it's just difficult to, from within, create the change. So sometimes it might even be better to just set up rules and abide by them and then come into something which will be painful. Most of these processes are very painful because especially where do all these people find all these women with all this experience? Obviously, they're not out there as much as there's men out there with these same experiences. So we do have to make bets, we do have to take risks, and it will be just a more painful process. But at the end, I think if we are somewhere near, it doesn't have to be 50-50 at the end of the day. But if we say, let's make a gender quota, say each gender has to be represented at least 30%, let's say, for example, then if we have that, it will be a lot more natural and we won't have to do anything about it anymore. And hopefully the whole world will be a lot better because we will have so many different companies addressing all types of consumers and also solving problems that need to be solved.
How helpful is it for you to have an event like this where there are other women in your industry to chat to share ideas with, to help promote these ideas and also to inspire you going forward?
for me, it's really, really, really important. So I'm an emerging fund manager, doing this for the first time, and setting up my fund. Basically, I need a network, and these types of events give me the network, provide this to me, and I've met so many great LPs today. Also, in the first day of the event, who might be potential investors into our second fund, our third fund. And also many, for me, role models, women who have been GPs in different funds in the past. So I would say this type of industry network event is invaluable.
So looking forward now, what would you hope somebody who has a chat to you this week takes away from having spoken to you, and what would you hope that you take away from this event going forward for the next 12 months?
Yeah, well, maybe easier for me to answer the first question first. What I'm hoping is to understand the thinking more of the limited partners, and also understanding where the industry sees itself going within the next couple of months. So getting a little bit more deeper insights into the whole industry, which I'm very new to. On the one hand, what I'm hoping other people will learn is that someone who is an emerging fund manager does bring something to the table, which is just not being in the industry and having a different view on things, and maybe thereby also being helpful and teaching something which might not be coming out of the industry itself.
Fresh ideas, and thank you very much for sharing them with us today. Great to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.